Hello and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the RDA. This is your Manchester United vs Leicester match reaction. But before we get into the player ratings, how the game was in general, I must say my hats off to Oli today. I didn't expect him to play that team. The team I would have loved to see. Did not back him one bit to play it. He played it, so I'm proud of him for that. In terms of the result, it is what it is. You can't really expect too much, but it's very disappointing that the manner that which we lost is from a corner. And you know how I feel about corners. It is what it is, though. I think. But yeah, I think before we get into that, do subscribe if you're new, to smash a like. But yes, gentlemen, I said my hats off to Oli for playing that team today. How are you guys feeling about that game?
This kind of sucks, to be honest. And all I have to say is there's no integrity. And I'm not pointing fingers. I'm not saying it's the Premier League because I kind of understand they're in a difficult situation. And I don't know why they did it. Is it like a whole TV rights thing? I don't know. Or were they just too lazy to find a spot for the fixture? It is a bit annoying, but it is what it is, honestly. And you can't be too mad with the players who played today and their performances. And first half, we weren't bad, to be honest. I think at the start, Leicester were the better team. For some odd reason, we were really, really bad at retaining the ball. Like, we were losing balls left, right, and center. We were going too direct. But then they scored. And then when we scored, and it was down to two really talented players just making things happen, we got much better at retaining the ball. We retained it better than them. But then I kind of felt like we weren't direct enough anymore because as much as we held the ball a lot, we only had one shot on target, I think, in the first half. So yeah, it wasn't a bad first half. It was a decent first half. And what I think that first half showed is that Ole needs to trust these players more because there's some decent players there. And we shouldn't be playing with like what 14, 13 players or so game in, game out. I think we should be using the squad more because it might not be the best in the Premier League, but it's up there. It definitely is up there. And I hope he learns from this. And that's one of the few things he can change himself next season. He doesn't have to rely on the board for that. He can change the thing about him, and I think it will make him a better coach for Manchester United. Second half, we were dead in the second half. And like the commentator said, that's probably down to Ole not playing these players. Playing so many players who don't play a lot, they got tired. And you could see there was no legs. We sank deep. And yeah, no, Leicester's goal was always coming. I was kind of disappointed after Bruno, Rashi, and Cavani came on that we didn't have that many shots on target.
I was
And to
begging
be
for
honest,
that front three to
Did we
come back
have
on.
a shot on target? Honestly,
I
because I don't
don't
think we
think
did.
so. I don't think so.
I
Because
think we had
when
one shot.
Rashford, Cavani, and Bruno came on, I was like, bring on the other front three back. These men are dead.
yeah. To be honest, I would have brought on Pogba because Pogba, when he's playing on the left, he's all about getting
Okay,
past the last line and creativity. And I rate Bruno, but Bruno's not the Bruno from a couple of months ago. As much as he still scores and assists, I think Pogba would have had more of an influence in the game, so I would have brought him on. But look, it is what it is. I think we gave it a good shot. I think the players can be proud of what they did today, at least most of them. And it sucks that Man City won the league like this. Yes, I'm not saying we would have won it, but for the sake of competition, I would have wanted to see how long it could go. So, yeah, it is what it is.
Can't lie, I didn't even know that Man City won the league today. But it is what it is, I guess. That's how I feel today. That's my attitude today in general. It is what it is. But yeah, Clay, what do you think of the game?
Yeah, I think it's that simple for me as well. It's just one of the most lax, laid back match reactions we're going to have for a long time coming as well. Because today is quite simply, it is what it is. There's nothing else we can say. We were forced into a corner, and Ollie didn't actually do the coward thing and just go, okay, we're just going to overplay everyone. So, yeah, that's the only positive I receive from today. Otherwise, there's not really negatives either. He just played people he hasn't played all season, so what do you expect? It's rustiness. It wasn't a good game. I didn't enjoy much of it, in all honesty. I got bored through most of it. So, yeah, I don't know. It was just. It wasn't a Man United game, should I say. It was just Ollie ball, and it was boring, and players didn't know what they were doing, and they just felt dead later in the game. It was, yeah,
That
it
team
was a good
looked
game.
dead towards the end. It didn't look like it
Yeah.
had any energy or life in
Yeah,
it.
there was a period in the first half at the end where we were moving the ball nicely.
No, I loved the first half a lot. And then as soon as
I like
Cavani and
the team,
Rashford came off, I was like, yeah,
Mm.
3-3.
It's encouraging. It's encouraging that if we're just a bit braver and more courageous next season, that we could do great things.
I mean, we could have done it this season as well. Just saying.
You should have done
Yeah,
it
no, yeah,
this week.
that's
You
100%
should have
true.
done it this one.
Yeah, we
But
definitely should. Yeah, but
like I
moving on.
said, it is what it is, you know. I think the only big thing I'll take away from today is that there is certain players, we'll get to them in the player ratings, but there is certain players who are knocking on this door to play games,
Yeah.
you know. And certain players who I see today, who if I don't see more often than not, they get picked over certain other players who I'll get to. I'll be even more fuming now because I don't know about you guys, but that front three today, I loved it. I absolutely loved that front three. Our midfield pivot. I know Matic can't do it all the time, you know, so that's fair. But Donny wasn't even the greatest. But it's still way better than that dead McFred. So, you know,
Yeah.
that's the only big thing I'll take away today is that certain players have to start playing a lot more, and if not, you got to start questioning Oli a lot more than this because today I've seen
What's
a
the
lot
guy's
of
name?
Oli a lot
Ilenga.
more.
Ilanga,
Ilanga,
yeah.
yeah, Ilanga, yeah.
Elanga. I thought he wasn't pulling out trees, but it was much better than Showtime and those moments. So,
Yeah,
that's
I was actually very impressed with Ilanga today as well. Because, you know, he's obviously, you know, you can't read much. It's the first ever game he's going to play. It's his first ever game for United. But what I liked is that he wasn't scared. He took on his runs. He wanted the ball. He mixed well with Mason and Ahmad. He showed football
like he
IQ. Yeah, it looked like he could belong in a Manchester United team. So, and then when I seen Rashford come on, I was like, fuck it, bring me back on Ilanga because Rashford's dead food as well. So, you know, just bring them all back on. So, yeah, I was very impressed with our front three. And, you know, I guess we'll speak more about it in the player ratings naturally.
Exactly.
But yeah, shall we get into the player ratings, gentlemen?
Yeah.
All right, starting
just-
with guessing David De Gea.
Of course.
Ish. Made a few good saves. Don't blame him for the goal, the first goal at least. Do not blame him whatsoever. That goal is a goal from the gods. That is a goal from the footballing gods. No one's saving that. It's a bit weird though, because I was thinking, I'm like, isn't it weird how we could see two goals like that back to back? Because this Traore one wasn't as good, but it was similar. Same, just that top corner, just curl it like that. It's like, oh, what you gonna do? So for me, I'll give David here 6. The second goal also, it is what it is. Can't really do anything.
Yeah.
Dino, you could argue Dino comes out and just belts it away, but you know, they're not that type of keeper. So yeah, I'm just gonna give the 6.
Yeah, no. If you're gonna concede a goal, I want to concede a goal like that. You know, it keeps
Yeah.
them entertained.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was, and I think his first goal, maybe I don't know if it's
Yeah, he's
first goal,
19.
definitely.
He's a 19-year-old as well. So
Yeah, that was something else. So yeah, kudos to him. But
Luke Thomas.
they
Take
had
a
to
pass
do
on.
much for him today, really. Yeah,
Mhm.
and he wasn't asked to do much, but at the same time, I'm not gonna give him a high rating like he was, you know, amazing. So just say average performance 6.
I think for me, I want to be the harsh one only because we did concede 2 at the end of the day. And I don't feel comfortable giving a goalkeeper a 6 unless they quite literally made a few pivotal saves, which I didn't really feel he made too much today. So I'm going to go to 5.
yeah, I think that's fair as well.
No.
But yeah, moving onwards to Ben Williams.
Left back.
I can't see.
No, left back.
So Alex Telles. I'll be honest with you. I slated him last time we played. Today I thought it was much better. Today I thought it was actually very much better.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's his best game, but I think it's his second best game at Manchester United because going forward, I actually seen something. You know, and defensively, I thought he was a lot better than he usually is. He sent, I don't know who he sent to the shops, but he sent someone to the shops. It was embarrassing. But yeah, for Telles, it was more of a game of moments. In terms of the goals we conceded, like at first goal, no one can do anything about. Second goal, I mean, it's a corner. It wasn't Telles involved. So, you know, I'm going to give Alex Telles a 7. I actually did like Alex Telles today, so I'm going to give him a 7. I was very impressed.
I don't know. Just thought Tellus was loose, to be honest. We haven't compared him to Luke Shaw, but defensively, he is just not that. I do think he was slightly better today, but recovery, positional sense, I just don't think he's up to standard, honestly. So I'll be nice and say 5.5. That's me being nice.
You
Yeah.
ought to be nice. Eh?
I can't lie. I was really impressed by Alex Telles today. It might be because of those moments, but I liked it today. Today I actually looked at an attacking left back. You know.
Yeah. I saw that as well. I'm more in your boat here. I saw the moments of brilliance from Alex Tellers that we wanted him for, especially at the end of the game. That cross at the end and that run, that was great, and you could just
He had a good
see.
through ball to Mata.
Yeah,
Squared it to
exactly.
Cavani. It didn't come off. It was good.
It was great. It was great, and I loved it. I do think it was just a game of moments for him. So I kind of think the 7's a bit generous. So I'm just gonna stick with the 6.
It's a
Just
Tillis
because,
7.
yeah.
Let me say the Tillis 7. You know,
It was,
if this was his first team,
very
if this is his first team, and now we played full team and Tillis is the only player rotation, I probably wouldn't give him a 7. But in terms of today, I'll give him a 7. Feeling nice today.
I definitely think it was positive. I just think there has to be some kind of defensive responsibility. So I think that just evens out at the 6 for me. He was decent going forward, but I think the defense around him let him down a little bit.
Yeah. Anyways, moving on to is it
Axel, then by.
Axel. Oh, Axel. Axel, I'll be honest, I thought he was way better after the centre halves today. He was way better than Eric Bailly today for me. I thought defensively, he actually did most of the defensive stuff compared to De Gea, compared to Bailly, compared to Brandon Williams, compared to Taylor. I thought he was the only one who actually doing his job. I thought there's something in there. I still think there's something in Axel. I do think there is something in Axel. I don't think he's going to be the greatest centre back of all time, but I think he's got the qualities to make him a good, decent centre back for Manchester United. He's got the pace, he's got the knowledge. He just needs a little bit more game time, I feel. But today, I think he was definitely better off the centre back partnership, and I'm gonna give him a 6. I'll give Tanzania a 6.
Yeah.
I do think he has potential, and I think he has to play more to show us that potential, or that he can get better. But I thought he was just alright today, to be honest. I thought he made some good tackles here and there, but his man can't retain the ball to save his life. He just kept losing balls left, right, and center. So that was annoying me a little. But I'll agree with you 6.
Yeah. One thing I can say about today, I do think he was the better of the centre backs as well. I actually saw him have those moments as well. So it was solid from Axel. I had no issues with it, and I think second half is a lot better than first half. And he just looked very promising again, and I'm excited to see what he can turn into. But yeah, I don't think I'm comfortable giving any higher than a 6, so I'm going to agree with that.
Okay, so a hat trick of 6s for Axel.
Exactly.
And then we have Pai, his partner in crime today. It is. He looked off the pace, Pai, I'm not going to lie. I think he is off the pace. How much is that got to do with playing time, COVID, both? There could be something in there, but the man didn't sign a new contract. He's at some parts of the season, early in the season, this man was our best centre back, So it's a bit disappointing to see he's this far off the pace. But then again, I don't know how much it's got to do with the lack of playing time, how much COVID has affected him, how much is his mentality there? It was by just playing super well because he wanted a contract, There's all things to consider. But today, for me, nowhere on the pace. He's probably one of the most senior players on that field, and very disappointing for him. So I'm gonna give Bayer a 5.
All I can give him is that he retained the ball better than Tanzania. But beside that, compared to Bayer and Jan, that guy looked like Superman. This guy just looks average. So, nah. I'll match the 6. Maybe I'm being generous.
Matching. Matching, bro. It's fine.
Yeah, I can give it a 6.
Yeah, exactly. I can't either. I'm with you. I think it's too generous for Bai. I don't think he did nearly enough to get the 6, and just the defensive unit just did not feel good today. And Bai was definitely worse off, so I'm going to give it the 5.
Yep.
He's always a good ball playing centre back. That's what you can always give him. He always looks comfortable on the ball. But
I mean, so is Harry Maguire and
things that he
Lindelof,
does.
though.
Yeah, true.
So-
I'm not saying that because that he's freaking
Yeah, I know.
today.
I know.
Well, what's scary is though, like I'm thinking, if you had Victor Lindelof and Maguire today, I don't think they stopped both of those goals from happening. Still,
Yeah.
the one goal is just ridiculously good. The second one was zonal mark anyways. Maguire and Victor Lindelof mark pressure anyways as well, so they're not stopping that either. So for me,
But at the end of the
it
day,
just shows you need 2 centre backs. One would be nice, but 2 preferably.
I'm disappointed in Ole. He's Mr. Sayings, Mr. Adage, but he forgot the oldest saying in football. Don't
stop during a corner. Yeah, don't stop during a corner.
Don't stop during a corner. Who was marking that guy? It was Rashford.
It was Rashford.
Didn't know what he was doing.
Yeah. Raptors not on this player ratings, but oh my
Yep.
god, he must thank himself he's not on this player ratings. I'm
Uh,
gonna poly Raptor.
Grant
Jeez, but it's
Williams?
fine. It's fine. Let me poly Brandon Williams because I think by far the worst player on this pitch. If there was only one player who disappointed me on the pitch proper today, and that was Brandon Williams. I rated this kid. I said he could take Blue Show's spot, and ever since this guy hey, this guy is dead. He's dead. He's actually dead. I think he needs. If you're being ruthless, he probably needs to go. But he definitely needs a loan spell. I think he does need game time. I
Yeah.
think he does need experience. But woo, goals at fault for defensively, liability going forward, non-existent. I'll give Brandon Williams a 4.
Brandon Williams is dog shit today. He was horrible. And I had to ask him. And to be honest, I keep getting. Everybody keeps telling me, not just you guys, everybody keeps saying he's better right back, but I haven't seen it. Like, his low days were from the left back for me. Like, I saw
Yeah.
much better Brandon Williams there. But, nah, he was bad. He was legit the worst player on the pitch, and I'm going to give him a 1.
I was trying to be nice, man.
I do think he was our worst player today. I think that's easy to say. I think he had like 1 or 2 moments where he actually showed that potential that he showed earlier
He had
last
one
season.
good cross.
Yeah.
He had one good cross. That is about it. I can remember.
Yeah, there wasn't much for him today. But I do think there's still some potential in there. I think the game time's a massive issue because his kids have played 3 games this season in total. It's ridiculous. It's something like that. Yeah, you can't expect him to come in against Leicester, a top 4 side, and just perform. So again, this is on the rustiness. This is on are you not playing the players previously and getting them somewhat match sharp for this,
Yeah.
So I can't blame him too much. I do think it was just poor from him. So I'm gonna go with the 4.
Yeah. He needs to go, man. He needs to go on loan at least. I'm not saying go forever, but go out on loan, get some game time. Yeah, reassess your life.
Yeah.
Because think about your career, boy. Think about your career. Don't sit at United's bench. Reserve team. Play under 23 football. Go want to play football. Because at the moment, I would question if you want to play football. If you're serious about football, it doesn't look like you're serious about life. So you need to get your head screwed on, boy, and do something about it. So. That's just personal advice, but it's fine. We move on to I don't know who's
Donny.
compared. Done.
Move on right there in the midfield pivot. Let's go.
What says it all?
See, the problem is that don't want to hate him, but I do think he was trash. I thought he was a bit trash. I do blame Donny's performances on Ollie. I do because I've seen Donny play at his best. And there is an extremely good midfield player in Donny van der Beek. You put him in a City side or a Liverpool side or even an Arsenal side, you'd see a much better Donny van der Beek. He needs more game time, more than anyone, especially in the midfield role. Today I did like he played in the pivot. However, I don't think it was the worst performance. I think going forward, very disappointing. Defensively, I thought he was very good. I thought he was very tenacious. I thought his tackling was aggressive.
Yeah.
Passing, like I said, passing going forward for me were dead. Other than that, though, still better than McFred. I'll play Donny 10 times over than McFred. I'd rather have that Donny van der Beek than McFred. So
yeah,
I'm not gonna be too nice with Donny. I'm gonna give Donny a 5. I was very disappointed by that.
I don't like slating Donny because people don't know that he's actually my favorite United player. But yeah, I think he looked way more comfortable in that position. Like, if he's going to retain the ball, if he's going to be retaining the ball on the left wing, might as well put him there because that's what that position is all about. And he did that part to the T. But a lot of the things I saw from Don at the start of the season, the decent tackling, not amazing, but decent tackling, and the courage to play balls forward, it's not there anymore. Ole's turned Don into McTominay. That's what Ole's done. And yeah, he seems to be lacking confidence because there were so many times where he had the ball. He could have hit the forward pass, which I've seen him do a lot of times, but he played to the side. Who does that? It's freaking McTominay. And defensively, I just thought his tackles were a bit off. So I wasn't impressed, but I do think it's down to lack of confidence, and it's down to Ole not playing him. So I'll give him a 5.
Yeah.
With Donny.
Well, let's say about Donny is I wasn't that disappointed. This was kind of the performance I expected from him, in all honesty. I don't think he was poor. I thought he was solid. I thought he was just a solid midfielder. I enjoyed him in the pivot, in all honesty. I saw a lot of moments of Donny looking like the right player to be playing the pivot next to a defensive player. And I like that a lot.
In terms of retaining the ball, I think there's no better in the team. But like defensively today, he tried to do that thing where he shields the ball so many times. It just never worked. Other players would get the ball, he'd be like to the ref, but never got the foul. And I just thought there were so many parts of his game lacking for that position.
It's
But I
not the
don't blame
best
him.
Donny. This is by far the best Donny.
Exactly. But I think there's a lot of promise, though. Like Shoni said, I thought he was fantastic in the tackles. I thought he won the ball back a lot. But again, he didn't have that creative outlet in Bruno ahead of him, who's supposed to dictate play. He was kind of in charge of it alone in the midfield. So I understand why he could have lost possession a few times by trying to shield the ball and just trying to buy himself a minute. It happens. I'm not so upset about that. I think he could have done better for sure, but I don't think it was a bad performance in the slightest. So I'm happy to go with a 6. I thought it was just a solid Donny performance. I saw some good passing at
My
moments.
problem is
Yeah.
with these Donny performances is the fan base will turn on Donny van de Beek. The fan base is already turning on Donny van de Beek.
He's not ready to show today.
People will side on Ollie now after this. People will be like, that's exactly why Ollie doesn't play.
Exactly.
That's exactly why he shouldn't be at Manchester United. That's exactly why we need someone like Grealish. That's why get rid of Donny van de Beek is trash. Quite frankly, today he was trash. So that's the only problem I see about Donny. So another player who might want to reconsider his future at Manchester United. But I love the boy. I love the guy. I love the player inside him. I do agree. I think his confidence is non-existent anymore, and I don't know what he's gonna do to get that turned around. Because personally, I just don't think Oli cares about Donny van de Beek. So, and I think that's just how it is. I don't think the squad cares about Donny van de Beek. Donny van de Beek could walk out tomorrow and no one would blink an eye. I think that's just how it is.
I'm not buying the squad thing. I've heard it all over. Nah, I'm not buying it. Honestly, I just don't think we have that type of group.
But like, I don't know. We don't know. We don't know. I think it's best to leave it at that. But moving forward, Matic, I believe it's a Matic.
Yeah, of course.
Rolling back theirs, Matic today. Rolling back theirs. I think for 70 minutes, 100% man of the match. The last half an hour, oh god, yeah, it showed why he can't, why he doesn't play every week. It shows, it's like, yeah, that's exactly why he can't play every week, and that's exactly why he probably doesn't start games anymore. But for the first 70 minutes, oh, he rolled back the years, and it just shows what we're missing. You get someone like Matic, young, who can play 90 minutes, probably week in and week out. This team is almost there. It is almost there. But yeah, the last 30 minutes really dampened Matic's rating for me. But like I said, I'm feeling nice. I'm not going to give him man of the match, but I am going to give Matic an 8. I thought he was phenomenal. He was a real captain out there, dictated play, defensively solid. He was putting people to the shops. You're sending people to the shops with his skill moves. So yeah, I'm giving Matic an 8. Freaking hell. I wish we had Matic 5 years younger and we would have been hundreds, but it is what it is.
Like we've seen his footwork in the past, but today I was feeling it today. He was having everyone, and it was entertaining to watch. Oh, it was more so in the first half. And then in general, defensive work was great. Controlling the tempo, slowing it down when he needs to, just retaining the ball. I thought he was really good for 70 minutes. You're right. I do think for the last few, you saw he got tired. He was just being pulled apart, left, right, and center. But overall, I do think he's man of the match today. So I'm gonna give him 7.5.
With your man of the match, just to be clear.
Man of the match?
Yeah, man of the match. Just to be clear. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, a 7.5 man of the match. I don't think we've had that low in a while. Oh, that's mad. But I do think Matic had a good performance today. I just towards the end of throwing it, I do think he was probably our best player on the pitch overall. I don't think he did much wrong. I thought he did a lot right. And again, I've been saying that since we've been seeing Matic in the team. I've gone down the Ricky route, and I've been loving his performances for a while, ever since he's been back on and off in the first team. So I do think he was really good, and I do agree with you. I wish we had him 5 years younger. I wish we had the prime Matic, the prime Source. That'd be great. But
Like I think.
yeah.
Sorry, Karen.
But it's just his legs at this point. That's the only issue. Like I said, at the beginning of the season, we have one season left with Matic. We got to use it, and we've just barely used him. And then moments like this where he shines really well, it just feels like we've wasted him this season a bit, because we've only used him for like the first how long many games was it until Spurs? Like
First.
7, 8,
Yeah, first person then gone.
and then just he didn't play again for the next 20 or so. So that's very unfair on Matic. And again, the rust is real because this man couldn't pull off a full 90. And I feel like if he had been playing a bit more consistently, we would have seen a full 90 from him, a full consistent 90 performance. But yeah, I think I don't want to push an 8. I think that's too high for me. I want to go to 7.
I think sometimes we forget how good this guy actually was. Because I remember when Hazard won PFA Player, there was a lot of people saying he should have won it. He was freaking phenomenal for Chelsea. And I think Ole is scared to play him alone, because there was a point where he played the Pogba, Bruno, and him alone, and then switch to McFred. Maybe what he should do is in games where we'll be more on the front foot. And this is me through Ole's eyes trying to compromise. Maybe play one of McFred and play Matic next to him.
Yeah, it could work, but then no.
Yeah, we've seen Scott and Matic recently, admittedly. Every now and then.
Anyway.
Yeah, not enough for sure.
Anyone besides McFred, please. I'm praying. Even today's midfield is better than McFred. McFred are dead. That's what I'm saying. He was asked today. He was asked, but they play over McFred. McFred is the worst by far. So it's ridiculous. Next, however, is Madala. If anyone knows what Madala means, it just means old. So Madala Mata. Hey, just retire. I'm gonna be as blatant as that. Just retire. You're a great person, great human being. Time to hang up the boots, Mata. You are dusted. 4. Dusted. I didn't even know you played. I'll be honest. I didn't feel like Mata played today, so 4.
Yeah.
Look, I do feel like he wasn't getting on the ball enough, but I feel like whenever productive direct passes were played to the midfield, it was Mata. And yeah, Mata still has the technical ability, but just doesn't have the legs. And I wouldn't say it was a horrible performance. I'm going to give him a 6.5.
I didn't think Mata was playing today. I think if we didn't play with Mata, we would have noticed.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I'm more enjoying his boat. I barely noticed the man today.
Didn't the goal... Sorry for cutting you off, but the goal, wasn't he involved? Didn't he pass to Ahmad?
He might have passed to Ahmad, yeah.
Yeah, but again, Mata is kind of the same story as Matic at this point. It's just we feel a bit of a retirement home in the midfield. So Mata is he shouldn't have played. I hate when Mata plays. I really do, because he shouldn't be a part of this club's vision at this point. I would much rather see him like a short tire player today. Rather see something like that. Rather see him experiment with the youth like he did up front. The front three was perfect. That's what I want to see more often. But then just playing complete retirement midfield that is not going to play at all next season. And if you do, you're forcing them. It's just it's a yikes. I barely noticed Mata today. He definitely has the technical ability. It's hard to say he doesn't, because he definitely showed it at periods through the game. But like even just looking at that last attempt that he kind of misplaced when you try to find Cavani in the box. Yeah, I would say he misplaced that. Like that was a prime example of him just not being able to make it this long in a game. And if you're gonna start Mata, I just don't think he's good enough anymore. And unfortunately, he shouldn't be playing for Manchester United in a game like this, where pride is quite literally on the line, and City got the better of us today. But yeah, I didn't see a good Mata today. I'll agree with the 4.
That's it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tyler. I love the guy. Probably the nicest person you will ever meet. But he's time to retire.
Yeah.
I won't lie. Because when I look at the goal, he played a big, not bigger part than Ahmad, but a very important part in the one goal he scored. So
But I mean, he was
think
dead the rest of the game.
yeah, but we always boosting up people's ratings for one goal.
Yeah, but then even then,
That's
like
a crucial part. Are you saying Mason did not have to work so hard for that damn goal? That man squeezed. That man squeezed that ball in the back of the net.
As I said, I feel like he could be been on the ball way more, but I feel like he was the most progressive probably in the midfield. Because Matic, because of his position, but then besides Matic, I think Matic was up.
I thought Matt was better
I
than progressing ball in all
I
honesty.
can't even say that because I noticed Donny more than Mata today.
Yeah.
I did not notice Mata at all. Bar that pass to Ahmad, I did, and the flop to
Even
Cavani.
then, it was a simple pass to
didn't notice
Ahmad. It
Mata.
wasn't anything special, and Ahmad still had to make Greenwood work for the attempt. If it was a clear-cut chance, like you see KDB pass to Mahrez straight to Jesus in its back of the net, easy 1-2. Then I'll give credit if Mata's in that, you know.
Actually, I've heard a lot of people say, and I've said myself as well, that it's kind of unfair that those passes don't really get recognized because Pogba does them a lot, KDB does them. And I think it's an
but
important
not this one. I'm saying, like, this one was not him directly going, "Yep, this changed the game." It's not a Bruno over the top and then went to Shaw and Shaw hit it over to Cavani and Cavani buried it. It wasn't something that was pivotal like that. It was a simple through ball to Ahmad, and Ahmad just passed it over to Greenwood and he buried it.
But there's a lot of people on the pitch,
Yeah,
Donny.
I get where you're coming from, but I'm saying this isn't the one that you should be defending. Admittedly, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Adam, I just think he wasn't great, of course. I'll never give him an 8. I think he had a decent game.
I think for me, I expect more from Mata. Can't lie, but
No.
was in this retire. Simple as. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Should never play. Shouldn't have played.
Yeah.
Wasted my time. That's what it felt like. I wasted my time. I would have never played him. We shouldn't be there. That's just how I am. That's why I gave him a 4. You know, otherwise I would have been, if I seen something, I'd be like, not 6 for one Mata.
Exactly.
Both didn't lag out there. I hope it did. But I think it did.
Oh, no, he's back. Cool.
That's back. It's fine. Okay. Good. Because we move on. This front three today. This is why I support Manchester United. When Oli picked this front three, I was like, oh my god. I cannot believe my eyes. I cannot believe my eyes what I'm about to see. I'm gonna witness something well, we used to get to witness quite a lot, but now we just don't see it, you know.
Yeah.
It got me off my seat, it got me goosebumps. And that front three today was incredible for me. That front three was incredible. They gave me life in this game. So, and I will start with Ilanga because he didn't light up the world. But his first ever game in a senior game, first team football, professional men's football for Manchester United in the Premier League against a third division side, and I see no fear in the boy. He wanted to skill, he wanted to drive. His passing looked very cute and tidy. I loved Ilanga's performance there. I think tracking back was good, so I would give Ilanga a 7.
Look, I wouldn't say they were amazing, and why I say that, I just don't think they got enough of the ball to be amazing, honestly.
Yeah.
But I do think they played decent. I feel like Ilanga, yeah, he didn't have much of the ball, so you can't blame him for that. I think that's down to the midfield. But when he did get the ball, he was strong on it. He would take on people, and I like that. I mean, I remember Short's performance. He just looked scared as if. So compared to that, you could see that he is ready to be at least a challenge for a place in the first team. And yeah, I was happy about that. So I'm gonna give him a 6.
Yeah, I think it was a solid performance. I have no issues with it. I just don't think it was pushing it to that level where I could start going, this was like a really good performance. But it was a lot better than some of the debuts we've seen already. I think it was one of the better debuts from our youngsters for sure. But I don't think he quite lit the world on fire. I do think he has some good potential in him, and I do want to see him develop under the club. And I think he could be a good player. But today, I think it was just average. You know, I think this is what you'd expect from a United left winger. And yeah, it was like he did the bare minimum right. And I don't think he did anything exceptional, but I do think, as Milton said, that it was down to him not getting the ball that much.
I don't know who it is. But
Yeah.
even tellers, they send people to the shops.
Yeah.
And that's it, obviously. But yeah.
Exactly. So I do think there's a lot of promise there. I just don't think I can go higher than the average 6 for him. They're solid.
I love
That's definitely
Ilanga. I
solid.
can't lie. When Rashford came on, I was crying to get Ilanga back on. That's how trash Rashford was today. Yo, God help us. And, that's how bad Rashford's falling on my list. I want Ilanga now. I want Ilanga. He's one of the players who I want to start playing. He must fucking start playing now. Yeah. Rashford, fucking Rashford today. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Rashford's young. Rashford is tough.
Rashford is young. Rashford should have never played today. Rashford is injured. You did.
No, that angle, I get it.
Rashford's IQ is non-existent sometimes. So, it is what it is.
Yeah, he has much time to be scoring as many goals as he does at his age.
Yeah, I know. But I'm just saying, what I've seen from Ilanga today, for me, I'm going to be starting. I want Ilanga not to start. That's pushing. At least on the bench. I want to start seeing him on the bench because I think there's a player in there. I think there really is a player in there. So when you're a youth player, for me, this is what I'm so passionate about. When you're a youth player and you come onto a fucking football pitch and there's no fear in you, that's the first good sign. That's the first good sign. When I see you wanting to go forward, when I see you want to do one-touch passes, tricky passes, behind the heel passes, it's good. And the other players, like when Martial comes on, debut Liverpool scores a goal, that's ridiculous. Rashford comes on, scores a goal, that's ridiculous. I'm not saying Ilanga was there because I would have probably given Martial and Rashford 10s on their debuts. So for me, Ilanga deserves a 7. First ever game, chucked him in, showed me something, got me off my seat, giving him a 7. And I think he was way better than Marcus Rashford today. So it is what it is. Okay. I think you've told my top diet. But is the overlay fine? Is that okay?
No, I have to fix it for a sec. Oh, okay, then there's back. Fine. Cool, that's fine.
Well, I'm allowed to load back in. It's fine.
Yeah,
moving on to.
I just decided that the call's been going on long enough.
It's fine. It's fine. No stress.
It's all good.
Moving on to.
Greenwood, I'm up to you.
We'll move on to Mason because he listens to me. He listens to me. My son listens to me. My son does listen to me. He knows. As soon as I saw him for that one, he was like, "You know what, Dad? I got you. I got you. One chance, one goal. The goal was all him. I know Ahmad got the assist. The goal was all him, though. Yeah. What he had to do from there was ridiculous. Where he was ridiculous. How that ball ended up in the back of the net, I don't know. I'll be honest with you. I don't know how that ball found the way to the back of the net. He's probably. This is why people rate him. This is why people like Troy Deeney. I don't take Troy Deeney's opinion, high regard. But I'm just saying. That's why people like Troy Deeney. He says after then Harry Kane, in terms of the English football talent in the Premier League, Mason Greenwood's the next in terms of that finishing. You heard it from everyone in the club. Mason Greenwood is regarded the best finisher at Manchester United over people like Cavani, Martial, Marcus Rashford. We see this time and time again. People wrote off this kid at the beginning of the season, and now he's laughing in all their faces. He's laughing in all their faces. I think that's what. I think he's got the most Premier League goals as a teenager for Manchester United now. I think he's got the most Premier League goals since last month, more than anyone in the Premier League. He was nominated for Player of the Month last month. He's continuing his fine form. I would have played him today. He did play today. My man of the match, 9 out of 10.
I think for about 30 minutes of the first half, he was freaking amazing. Like, you could see the confidence, you could see the leadership. Like, okay, gents, you're not playing the first team here, so I want to take on the mantle. And he was just everywhere. Hold up, taking on people, the intelligence, the footwork for the goal, the finish. I thought for a large part of the first half, he was really, really good. And yeah, good goal. As much as we didn't win, it sucks, but we still count the goal. And the second half, he did fall off a little and then get subbed off, so I'm not going to slate him too much. But I think I'll go with 7 and a half.
I'm happy you got subbed off, though. I would have played him today, but I would have liked him to come off because he's played a lot of games recently, so I'm glad he got something of a break.
Exactly. I think we're all feeling that at this point. Because Mason is probably not going to play Liverpool, admittedly, so I'm glad he got rested. But yeah, I just thought he was really good today as well. So I'm just going to keep it short and sweet. I'm going to agree with the 9. Mason is generational. We move out of the match.
He's generational. Mason Greenwood is Fucking generation.
You
We need to keep
mentioned
it low.
talk.
We need to keep it low key generation. I don't want to
Exactly.
hear Haaland's name next to it. I don't want to hear Mbappe's name. I don't Foden, you can mention him or whatever. I love Foden, everyone knows that. I love Mason Mount. Saka, you can have fun with your Saka debate. He's not included in my debate, but those three boys, those three boys are wonder kids for me. Those three
Yeah.
boys are wonder kids. And I tell you what, because moving on, there's another wonder kid in town. If I ever see fucking Sonic the Hedgehog playing over this guy again, I'm gonna lose my mind. I'm actually gonna lose my mind. Ahmad Diallo, take a bow, son. Take a bow, son. I think if your assist was cleaner today, you're my man of the match. That's the only reason I wanted to give it to Mason, because I was thinking, Mason had to do probably a lot more for that goal. But in terms of Ahmad today, passing on point, defensively, oh my god, he is an out and out right winger. Defensively, he was better than Brandon Williams. He carried Brandon Williams' ass today. Strong box, dribbled out the box, passed out the box. Passing was on another level, got an assist. Very disappointed he got subbed off. I do believe it could have been because he's fasting. And, if it was that was the case, I understand it. But, very impressed with Ahmad. Very impressed with Ahmad. I think he offers 10 times even more than what Dan James could ever do. I think Dan James should not play ahead of Ahmad Diallo anymore. He is one of the players I think have knocked on the door for me today. So I think it's a big positive. And I'm going to give Ahmad Diallo an 8. I thought defensively is what mostly impressed me today. The responsibility he had tracking back was on point. It looked like he's played there for years, but the way he was positioned, Donny van de Beek passes him the ball. There's like 3 players around him in our own box, and he manages to dribble out. People are trying to foul him. He still got away with it. Very impressed with Ahmad. He looked like, why isn't this guy playing first team football? Or at least more than what he is. So very happy with Ahmad. I give him an 8.
Yeah, I think he was also a victim of not getting the ball enough, to be honest, because I feel like we could have seen way more of him, but because the ball just wasn't getting there enough, we didn't. But whenever he did, yeah, you could see the class, you could see the potential. Footwork is insane. He gets an assist in that. Is it his first Premier League start? He got a goal in his first Europa League start. What more do you need, Ole? So, yeah, no, I was quite impressed with him, and I'm gonna give him a 7.
Yes, Ahmad prop.
There's lots of propaganda on this show, that's for sure. Because I get you boys.
I'm not having it anymore. Honestly, if I see Dan James starting over Ahmad Diallo from now, I'm giving only -10 already. Already.
Oh,
Not
it's
having
going
it.
to happen.
Let Dan
Yeah,
James
I know
could
it's gonna
lead
happen. That's what I'm saying.
Let's go.
I'm not having it anymore. I'm not having it anymore. You cannot disrespect Ahmad anymore. This is mad. This kid is a baller. He's an absolute out and out baller. Defensively, 10 times better than Dan James could ever dream of. Offensively, 10 times better than Dan James could ever be of. Could be not as fast, but he's got pace, So yeah, times are numbered. Dan. Times are numbered.
Yeah, exactly. That's it was a good performance from Ahmad. I definitely think he showed some class today. And again, the youthful front three, I do think there's a lot of promise there. And that's something we can build on. And as you said a million times, he was good today. And I think it's simple as that. I'm going to leave it with 7. It's a good performance.
I'm very happy for Ahmad. Very, very happy for Ahmad.
Yeah.
But there we go. 2 man of the matches for Mason. Other man of the match, Matic. I'm not mad at. I'm not mad at Matic. If you give Matic man of the match, fine with that. If you give Mason man of the match, fine with that. If you give Ahmad man of the match, fine with that. Any other than that,
Pushy.
pushy. Yeah, pushy. Yeah. You give
Did
me
you watch
Brandon
the
Williams
game?
man of the match. You must be a City fan. But it's fine. Moving on to the most controversial as always. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Let me start here because I actually think I'm going to be the most positive today about Ole. Like I said, I take my hat off to Ole about the team he picked. Never in a million years did I ever think Ole would have the balls to play the team he did today. And he did, so it's fair play. I had not one complaint about the team he picked today. Spot on. The only thing I'm disappointed about is not even the subs. I'm not disappointed about the subs. You would try to bring down big players to try to get something. The only thing I am disappointed on is again we concede from a corner. You sub or we concede from you sub during that corner we concede from. Rashford was the sub. Rashford was at fault for the goal, and that's the only negative. But to be honest with you, I know it's a loss. I know we didn't play great football, but I think in the terms of context for me, I'm gonna give Oli a 7. But in reality, it's probably an average performance. But I am going to give Oli a 7 because, like I said, I appreciate Oli picking a team like this today. Because even though Oli is as stubborn as he is, and we probably won't see this team for another 25 years,
Yep.
I did not expect him to play this team today. So yeah, there we go.
Yeah, no, Like, you can't say you're not going to blame the players too much because of the situation and blame Ole. That'll be unfair. And I can't blame him too much today. I think I generally don't like to give ratings based on things he didn't do in the past, but today it is kind of annoying to think about. The squad should have played more. We should have rotated more. So yeah, I'll knock him down a little bit for that. What else? The sub, like, I know I'm clashing, but like, it's the oldest rule in the book, mates. Come on, mates. So she should have waited a little bit there. And I would have put Pogba on, but then a lot of people would have said Bruno. So I don't think there's much he could have done to change the result today, to be honest. So I'll give him a 6.5.
Ali's got a free pass today. You got a free pass.
Yeah, I think so. So 6.5 from you, Milton. And sorry, my camera died on OBS.
Oh,
So excuse that while we're finishing up. But for me, I get where you guys are coming from, saying there's some positives. I don't want to be too negative, so I just want to say the rating first. I'm going to go to 5. But I think that's only pushed down because we did play dead football, I felt, and I was bored majority of the game. I felt Ali didn't come with the correct tactics for the game. As much as the first 11 was good, I just felt at the end of the day we ended up losing. We played poor football. I think it should be that simple to be able to mark him down to a 5. I'm not going to be too upset with it because he was forced into a corner. So yeah, just a little subpar.
Yeah, I think any rating you give Oli today, I think is it is what it is. Like I said today, I let it slide. I let it slide because you did something I never thought you would do. But from next week against Liverpool, or you best that's when I'm my harshest is when we play Liverpool. Not a Europa League final, if we play Liverpool, I'm at my full harshest.
Yeah.
Hey, you better make sure
To
you
be
win that
honest,
fucking game.
This schedule has screwed Liverpool way more than it screwed us today.
Yeah, no, it's good.
Stuck
It's good Liverpool.
Just took
Proper.
3 points today, and we
Three.
beat them.
Exactly. 3 points. That's exactly what Leicester got to even say. Like when I seen the team, I was like, yeah, if we lose, however, if we want to draw it, take it.
Yeah,
Take
exactly.
it, you know. So free pass for Oli, free pass for some of the lads. Front three today. Shout out to you guys. I thought you were absolutely amazing. Good from Tellers. Happy with Tellers. Not so happy with Donny. The rest is you know your position in the team anyway. So I think Ilanga deserves a spot on the bench from now on. Now and then spots on the bench. Ahmad needs to start playing ahead of Sonic the Hedgehog. Mason Greenwood is a proper striker, and I think another year.
Yeah.
Cavani goes in another year. Don't buy a striker. Please don't buy a striker. There's your striker. He's there. That's the striker. Play him. Always. Play him.
Exactly.
No. After Cavani leaves. That is your striker. Play him. And if I was there, Cavani's not playing over Mason. When he's like this, no player is playing over Mason. Not my boy Martial, not Rashford, not Cavani, not Pogba,
Ronaldo.
not Bruno. Okay, Ronaldo does
Thank
play.
you.
But Ronaldo's not at Manchester United yet.
Yes.
Hopefully, while we can dream. But
Yep.
we got to see what happens. But yeah, there's your striker, so we just got to see what happens. And like I said, games are coming thick and fast. We go again tomorrow, Liverpool, the big one. I think there might be a planned protest tomorrow. I think there is something about a protest tomorrow not tomorrow, sorry, on the Liverpool day. I keep thinking tomorrow Liverpool. But
Yeah.
during the Liverpool game, I think there's a planned protest. We'll speak about that tomorrow though. But yeah, we move on. We move on to the biggest game of the season, really, besides the Europa League final for us. But yeah, the biggest Premier League game of the season.
Okay.
Liverpool. Liverpool. Had it for you. You're gonna be. What do you mean? The rivalry? Yeah, I respect it the most. I think it's the biggest rivalry in football. So
Versus United, top 4 team, qualify for Champions League.
no. Yeah, no, that's fine. The game itself is dead, but the
Yeah.
rivalry is the reason why I care. The game itself is dead.
Exactly.
Because Liverpool, like I said, had it for you. You're playing Uzbekistan on Thursday nights now. That's your problem. City, I couldn't be asked. Exactly. Whoa. City, I can't be asked because you got no fans. So it is what it is. Smash a like on the video, subscribe if you're new. We'll check you tomorrow for the Liverpool preview again. Hopefully this time we get a game. But yeah, we'll check you in the next one.